up, folks? It's Steve Holmes here from houseofdrumming.com with another drumming instructional video for the internet, because the internet still needs drumming videos, I think. Seriously. I wanted to do a video on a topic that has really helped me with my drumming, and I don't think enough folks practice this stuff as much as they should in order to really harness the power of double stroke rolls. Okay. Double stroke rolls are so incredibly useful. Once you get them to a certain level, you just have to practice a whole lot to get them there. So I wanted to share some double stroke exercises for you folks to practice at home. We're gonna spend a lot of time talking about taking a subdivision and basically playing it twice as fast, but as double strokes, right? And the good news about that is if my hands are playing, say like eighth notes, and then I start doubling each stroke, I'm now playing 16th notes, but my hands are still doing like an eighth note motion. It's just that each time the stick comes down on the drum, you're playing a quick double stroke, okay? And by quick, I mean quick and even and clean. What I did to help build muscle memory was I played the double strokes as two separate strokes at first, okay? Not one stroke that has a compound double in it, okay? I've heard it referred to as a compound stroke. In order to get to that point, I didn't practice the compound stroke. I practiced two separate strokes, and what happens is your body eventually will start to do the compound stroke on its own if you practice this enough. That's what happened with me anyway, okay? Your mileage may vary. So two separate strokes, starting slow and then speeding up, and then at one point you'll see the separate strokes merge into one stroke, okay? Okay, so you can see what I was talking about. At some point during the takeoff, the separate strokes kind of merge into one, right? And that's kind of like, from a physical technique standpoint, that's what's kind of helped me like get this stuff happen. One of my favorite subdivisions to play with double stroke rolls is eighth note triplets, because once you start doubling eighth note triplets, you kind of get that kind of flowing phrasing that I really like. Starting with eighth note triplets, we want to accent the downbeat, we want to be able to accent the upbeat, and we want to be able to accent all the eighth notes in a swung context, okay? And by swung context, I mean 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, okay, like shuffled, not like 1 and 2 and 3, like straight, okay? We're talking swung because we're talking triplets here, okay? Take eighth note triplets and accent the quarter note, and then double the middle and the third triplet, okay? If we accent only the upbeats over top of eighth note triplets, then you're only accenting the third triplet, okay? So that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, da, da, 4, da, da. Okay, that's the upbeat accented over top of eighth note triplets. Now what you want to do is be able to double stroke the remaining notes, which is the first triplet and the middle triplet, okay? So technically it is still the 5-stroke roll, it's just that that accented note is shifted over by 2, okay? Over by 3 actually, so it's on the third instead of the first, okay? So first I'll do it without the doubles, then I'll do it with the doubles, okay? 3, 4. Okay, that's just the upbeat, all right? So we did the downbeat, we did the upbeat. Now we want to do both eighth notes, okay? And both eighth notes, when you accent them over eighth note triplets, you're accenting the first triplet and you're accenting the third triplet, okay? So accenting those notes without putting the double in the middle sounds like this, okay? 1, 2, okay, so you want to get comfortable doing that, okay? So it's like right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. But my hands are still playing eighth note triplets, okay? So since I'm accenting the first and the third, the double goes on the middle, okay? This is also known as a drag rudiment, okay? So that sounds like this. We'll do it without the double, then we'll do it with the double, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Those are the three main ones. We did the downbeat, we did the upbeat, and we did all the eighth notes. If we put them all together, say we'll do a bar of accenting the downbeat, we'll do a bar of accenting the upbeat, then we'll do a bar of accenting the eighth notes, okay? All the notes that are not accented get a double stroke, all right? So it's the three things we covered put together. Here we go. 1, 2. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking downbeats, I'm thinking upbeats, I'm thinking all the eighth notes, just that I'm accenting over eighth note triplets and I'm doubling everything else, okay? After we get the downbeats, then we get the upbeats, then we get the eighth notes, then we start putting together in a phrase. Here's what that sounds like. Okay, so the first step to getting that kind of flowing phrasing that I like to play is taking a very simple phrase and playing it as accents over top of eighth note triplets, right? Say a phrase out of the Ted Reed Syncopation book, which I've used for a ton of different things. There's a million different things you can do with that book. I definitely recommend getting it. So the example phrase that we'll use now is ba-da, ba-da, ba, ba-da, ba-da, ba. Okay? Now in the transcription you'll see that I'm writing out just that phrase, and then I'm writing out that phrase as accents over top of eighth note triplets, okay? Now that sounds like this with no doubles, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what I did is I get comfortable with what hand is playing what accent at a time, because that can take a little getting used to. Once you've mastered that and you're ready to move on to the next step, what I do is, in the transcription, I double all the notes that are not accenting, okay? Which ends up being different variations of some of those double stroke exercises we talked about before, right? That sounds like this. Okay, so that's just one phrase. And the good news about this stuff is that these kind of phrases, they're pretty simple phrases in and of themselves. It's just that they sound complicated because you're introducing all these double strokes, right? But again, without the doubles, it's just a simple elementary kind of badass, badass, bass, right? And I played it against a halftime shuffle, right? You can apply this stuff to different feels, right? So let's try playing different feels but the same fill, right? Okay, so you can see where I'm kind of headed. This kind of stuff can be applicable to anything that has a quarter note, okay? Actually, you can paint everything with that color. Once you start getting comfortable playing phrases to different tempos, you can apply these kind of phrases to all different kinds of feels, be it like regular time half time. If you're playing double time jazz and you're doing a lot of trading, this stuff comes in handy a lot.